Hey ladies, I am pissed. Let me tell you why. So today, this is last night. I was like, what am I gonna read? I don't know what I'm gonna read because from the wheel stuff, I have to wait because I got on hold at the library. So it needs to, the library needs to open and then they need to ship it to my library and it's gonna be a whole process. So I'm like, I don't have anything to read yet. So why don't I just, pick the very first book that's on my spreadsheet. So starting from the letter A. And that is Desert Solitaire by Edward Abbey. I have it out for you, Edward Abbey. So I read like 15 pages last night and then I read the rest of it today. I just finished it. And it was 269 pages, and let me tell you, this was the hardest 269 pages of my entire life. So, this is a non-fiction book about Edward Abbey's like 3 seasons as a park ranger in like southeastern Utah at the Arches. And holy fuck. So you'd think, it'd be about the beautiful, talking about the beauties of like the desert, and like the silence, and just how beautiful, the earth is. And it would also talk about, we're destroying the earth and shit. Because that's sort of the impression I got, because like on the back it's like angry and loving, and I'm like, oh, so they're gonna talk about how we're destroying the earth. And apparently I'll get into this. So, he gets into like his favorite thing about natures is like, you know, the wildness of it. It's not human, it's not artificial. And like he starts talking about like breaking greenhouses and like destroying potted plants. I understand like the sentiment of like not wanting humans to control everything and just let nature run wild and not become artificial. Totally get it. But I fear that's not really a high priority when it comes to the environment and our world as a whole. But maybe I'm just ignorant. And like immediately after saying, brick greenhouses and destroy potted plants, he goes on to say that he annoys bees to get them out of cactus flowers. Girl, just now you said you enjoy the spontaneity and wildness of nature. Shut up. And then he messes with a harvester anthill because he hates ants. And then after that, there's more. After that, he's like, I'm gonna do an experiment. Like, if you were starving and you saw this like rabbit, what would you do? What could you do? And then he goes on to throw a rock and kill this rabbit. Psychopath. Psychopath. And he's like, he calls himself like a scientist, and I'm like, no, you're not. You're a park ranger. And apparently he like feels elated and he feels no guilt and he believes that he's innocent, and he's like, okay, I never need to do that experiment again. All of his actions contradict his beliefs as an environmentalist. Like, that's his whole thing. And like, it boggles my mind. Because he's so, like, he thinks that he's, like, so much smarter than everyone. And apparently he's, like, an anarchist. Girl, I don't think you know what that word means. Because he's, like, also he's, like, ableist as fuck. And, like, I understand with national parks, the problem with, like, over tourism and industrial expansion. I get it. But making these parks more accessible so people who were originally not able to see these sites can see them, the fact that is such an issue for you is just sad. It is genuinely sad because he's like, these fucking crippled people in their electrical chairs are destroying everything. You are an anarchist. That's not going after just the everyday guy. That's going after authority, you dumb fucking cunt. Because he doesn't talk about that at all. He, like, kind of goes into it. Well, not even. He, like, barely mentions, like, anything. He's like, I hate the government or whatever. But he does not go into detail of, like, why. Or, like, specific things. It's always like they want to put roads in national parks. It's always about the fucking roads. Oh, I wrote down a quote that he says. He's like talking as if he's being questioned. So it's like, what about children? What about the Asian infirm? Frankly, we need to waste little sympathy on these two pressure groups. Girl, you calling yourself an anarchist is embarrassing to me. And instead of opposing authority, your biggest judgments are against just regular fucking people with a potted plant or on a fucking wheelchair. He's gone so far to one side that he is right back around, calling park rangers lazy. Bitch, what is your job description? Your, like, holier than thou attitude is so fucking frustrating to read, and your hyper masculine antisocial nature emanates off the page like a fucking stench. I hate you, Edward Abbey. I hate you. Oh, and he also continuously calls this park Abby's country. Don't fucking piss me off. I was talking about this book today with my boss and a customer, and we were talking about how he's, like, totally racist against, like, Native Americans and seems to, refuse to acknowledge that it's, like, native land. And I'm like, he calls this place Abby's country? Like, girl! And I got the whole squad laughing. They love it when I say girl. I was high on life. If Edward Abbey were a teenager today, he'd be on 4chan. Just, like, how he fucking talks, and you know what that means. Like, I don't even need to even specify what that means. You know what that means. And don't even get me started. You think the children in the fucking, like, old people thing was bad? He acts as if Native American people were only here 700 years ago. And then they just decided to leave 700 years ago. 700? Oh my god, I just heard a child scream. And he even said something like, something must have happened for them to leave. I just don't know what that was. Oh, and he also calls them like primitive savages. And that's okay. That is not even the worst thing he says about Native American people. Get this. He says he says he says something. Let me let's find it. Today, outside the Canadian country, and particularly in Arizona and New Mexico, the Indians are making a great numerical comeback, outbreeding the white man by a ratio of 3 to 2. The increase in the indirect result of the white man's medical science as introduced on the Navajo reservation, which greatly reduced the infant mortality rate and thereby made possible such formidable fecundity? This happened despite the fact that infant mortality rates among the Indians are still much higher than among the American population as a whole. Are the Navajos grateful? They are not. To be poor is bad enough. To be poor in multiplying is worse. Oh, he goes on to. He calls. I can't say this word, but he calls them the black people of the Southwest, and changed black people to something else. He doesn't go like. It's not. He doesn't go like hard. He doesn't go that deep, but you know the other word I'm talking about. And then he says like, we've done what we can as white people to help them, and like they just refuse help. And like, if only they accepted getting a job in a motel or do laundry or wash the dishes, that's all they seem to be good for and smart enough to do, these jobs are available and they simply refuse. Those stupid people. And then says like, industrial tourism would help Native Americans in their reservations, but ironically says no to national parks, which is native land. Go fuck yourself, Edward Abbey. Go fuck yourself. He also goes to this like native like village, and he says like Native Americans just need to like accept that they're gonna get stared at and they're gonna get like questioned and have their pictures taken, and they just need to accept and assimilate into white culture. But then he goes to this village and he's like, they were cool, I guess. I just didn't want to hang out with them because I didn't like the idea of them questioning my habits or my religion or what I wear. Do you hear yourself, Edward Abbey? He I there was no enjoyment. I read it just so I could say I read it and I could say that Edward Abbey was a horrible fucking person and thought that he was the smartest person ever, and that he's the only one deserving of seeing any, nature, because all the stupid, fat, you know, people of color, poor people, disabled people, who gives a fuck about them, right? I just can't. And there were so many times where people would just, you know, he would complain like seeing like cigarette butts, on the ground at like the campgrounds. And he's like, oh, these stupid fucking fat people or whatever. And then like there are chapters where like he is around people that do that. Edward Abbey, you are an embarrassing, racist, sexist, hypocritical jerk off, and you did not reach the gates of heaven. Yeah, because he's fucking dead. I fucking hate you, Edward Abbey. You are a loser. Loser. And I hate you. This was just horrific. Because, like, I don't. Even people were saying, like, oh, he's a good writer, though, besides all this. No, he isn't. There is no substance. There's nothing to care about. His stories are not interesting because he is not an interesting person. he is a loser. I don't think, like, sure, this was like the 70s. But I don't think, I think other people had more interesting fucking things to say. I'm just gonna be honest. Oh, and the front says, a man of character and courage. The New Yorker, fuck you too. There is no courage happening here. There is no man here, let me tell you that. Um, Certainly not a character. He is a nothing person, and he deserved to die. I feel empty. I feel empty. Don't read this. Just don't. Anyway, it's raining outside. Isn't that nice? I don't even know what to do with myself. I never want to read anything ever again. See, I was thinking, like, because he has, like, his fiction book, The Monkey Wrench Gang. And, like, that's really popular, and it's on my year wheel. But I might honestly, like, I don't think I could stomach reading something by this person ever again. I've talked about this before, but I hate the fucking excuse, like, oh, it's like the 60s or the 70s, It makes sense why he would say racist things and sexist things and ableist things and such. Fuck you and die, shitbag. I refuse to accept that excuse. Never again. Never again. I just won't let you. I just won't let you. If anyone says that stupid shit to me again, I'm punching them. I will kill them. I will kill them dead. Anyway, I'm gonna fucking throw this away. Goodbye. Um. So yeah, 269 pages. I don't know what I'm gonna read next. I might just continue going down the list. Maybe I'll have better luck. I think the next one on the list, let's see, is The Second Mrs. Astor by Shanna Abe. This is the Titanic. I like the Titanic. Maybe I'll find more enjoyment. But it's fiction. That could mean anything. Uh, I'm never gonna read a good book again. This is Edward Abbey ruined my life. It's done. It's over. I don't know what to do anymore. I might finish Tokyo Ghoul tomorrow. I'll fucking try. I'm already fucking drained after reading that. I don't know if I can fucking do it anymore. Yeah, maybe I'll read Tokyo Ghoul. Because Ryan is a fucking ahead of me, and I feel embarrassed about that. I need to own him and finish it before he does. Okay. I don't even know what words just came out of my mouth. I'm gonna rewatch this and be like, what the I was just mumbling and ranting. There was no rhyme or reason to it. It just was all coming out. Hopefully it made sense. Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. See ya, guys. Tomorrow. Oh, well, yeah, gamer. Tomorrow, yeah, let's go.